So what we are going to learn today, that is known as JUnit. Before going to learn this one, we have to focus some of the points like what actually this JUnit is, why we need the JUnit, and what is the usage of this JUnit, when to use the JUnit, and what is the importance of JUnit into the developers and the tester fields. So JUnit is nothing. You can see I have given the two colors J and unit separate. It simply means that J unit is a part from somewhere else. We have one family called that is known as X unit. From that X unit, we are going to have the different testing tools. Like for testing the Java tools or the Java programming, we have the J unit. Okay, and that unit is known as X unit, from which this J unit is going to be derived. We have the some map reduce MR testing for the Hadoop programming testing. So we will see what actually this J unit is. So J unit is nothing, but it is simply a unit testing framework. Unit testing framework for which peoples? It is for the Java peoples. If you write any code, what you have to do, if you write the 1,000 lines of the code and sometimes you will get the error, so what you will do, you are not going to check all the 1,000 line of the code at a time. So for that purpose, what you will do, you will write one module. Suppose one module is of the 100 lines, you will test that one, then again you will proceed to the further modules. So this J unit is something, the unit testing means develop particular unit of the code, test that one whether it is working or not, then again switch to the next unit. And as you can see, it is a part from the X unit team over here. JUnit means simply give you the slogan that first test, then you can proceed to the next level. Okay. If you are getting the trouble into the first unit only, and if you are without testing, if you are moving further, it will be very difficult for you. So this J unit is not especially for the testers also. Testers only, it is for the developers also. The peoples who used to develop the code, they will also check whether my code is whatever I have done up to that one, it is working fine or not. If it is working, they will proceed further. Okay. So this is known as JUnit. JUnit means Java unit testing. JUnit testing simply tells you that you have to test Java. Okay, and how you will test? You will test unit by unit. Okay, not the full code at a time. So if JUnit is there, what could be the different features of these JUnits? JUnit is also having a different features, whether you are going to write or run the test cases. First thing, you can see it provides the annotations. What is the meaning of annotations? Annotations means something code that is already written by the Java peoples, and you have to make use of that annotations. You are not going to write the same code again. Then how you can use that code? So simply for this purpose, you need to take the help of annotations. How you can identify which is the annotations? So if any annotation code is written there, before if you are going to use that one, add the rate symbol will be there. That I will let you know after the discussions of these features. I will show some of the examples of the JUnit and some of the examples of the annotations. And the annotations in the Java, it is present from the Java JDK 1.5. Before 1.5, there was no annotation concept, but now we have the concept of the annotations. And by making use of the annotations, you have to write a very less code, because already some codes will be written into the annotations. And here you can see this JUnit, if you are going to write, it will be exactly as the Java code only a few changes you have to made. What change you have to made, that we will see over here. So before moving further, we will see some of the examples, then we will focus on the remaining thing. Are you people are there or not?
Yes, you're there.
Yes. So what should I do? Yeah, Core Java demo over here. This is the Selenium and this is the hello. What I will do? See, this is the Java code. I hope there is no confusion. This is simply the Java code which is having the package name as the Selenium and class name is the hello.java. And what is the work over here? The work you are doing over here is you are simply printing the message at the console and the message is hello. So you simply run this one, you will get the hello message at the console. You can see you are getting this message. This code is Java code. Is it correct?
Yes.
So there is no doubt it is the Java code. What we have to do, because till now this is Java code and we have to work on the JUnit. We don't have to work on the core Java. Okay. How our program can this script can be made to the JUnit? What are the possibilities over here? So what is the main thing you need to see over here? This is the main method. Without, if you don't write this main method, whether there is a possibility that your code is going to work. If there is no main method, it will run.
No.
No, you can see without main method it is pointing you and it is giving you the message that main method should be not present, something like that, and it will give you some other kind of the message. In case of JUnit, how we can write our code? We can make that Java code into the JUnit. So this is the Java code and we have to change into the JUnit. How we can change? So remove this main method. Okay, remove main method. Give any name only, like I'm going to give testing. Testing is the name of the method. I have one class hello and inside this class I have one method. The method name is testing. The name you can give anything according to your choice. So I am giving here the testing is for the demo purpose. If you save this one, you can see there is no error, right? But if you click on this one for the run as, you cannot be see an example that means the option that run or run as the Java applications. Why? Because it is not a Java application. If it is Java application, there should be some main method. Okay, that we want. Now what we have to do, we have to make this case this code as the JUnit. How we can make this code as the JUnit? So we discussed just now, we have to take the help of annotations. Annotations, how you can take? You can simply type here at the red sign, and what you have to do? You have to make this method as a test. Okay, you can call this as a test. What is the name of test? Test name is the testing, and it is having the work. It will print the hello. How we can make this as a test? So right after annotation, simply write test. Okay. Now you can see this class has been made test. Still there is any error over here. Click on this one. You will see this option, add JUnit library to the build path. Okay. For working with the JUnit, you can directly work, or there may be chances that you can download the jar files and then you can give that jar files to this property. But in Java, we have the features that it will automatically detect that JUnit jar files. Okay, so simply click on this one. Now you can see this test, this program or the method has my test, and the where this test is present, this test is present into the JUnit. It has imported. Okay. Now, if we have saved this program, you will just try to right click on the program and see the option run as. Okay. So after writing the run as, you can see you are getting some more option the running the code. Earlier you were getting only the run on server and run configuration. Now you can see JUnit and testng. So don't focus on this testng, that we will talk later. We have to run the code as the JUnit, and now you are getting that run as JUnit. How we are getting? By simply adding the JUnit jar files. Okay, so click on JUnit test. See, you are able to get the output at the console window, hello. Okay, same times you can see you will get this option over here, JUnit. If it is not present here, so first time there may be chance that it will appear over here. Anywhere where it is appearing, that is the JUnit, simply double click on that one. You can see this is the JUnit report. This is the JUnit report card. Okay, you can see it has given the message that finished after 0.048 seconds. Run means how many method or the test cases you have run. You have run one. And is there any error? No, error is 0, failure 0. And you can see this line, it is telling you that test case is having the green signal, means it is passed. Okay, and here also you can see selenium dot hello, and it has run. It is having the method name as the testing. We have given the method name as the testing, so it is telling as the testing, and it is with the green tick mark, means it is passed. And how much duration it has taken? It has taken 0.002 seconds. Suppose this is the test case has been passed. Now you can see in this failure trace, is there any option or anything present over here? No. Why? Because there is no any reason to failure, because we have already passed test. We don't have the failed test. So this is, if we are going to work on the concept of the testing, this is the output result which the peoples will demand. Okay, these are the testing report. Okay, that is going to be generated by the JUnit. You can see it is the JUnit. But same thing you can check for the developers at the console window. If it is correct, it will get the output. So this is for the developers and this is for the testers. You can see that this is the report, one of the report. And how you can make the any method? This is one of the method. You can make any method as the test case. So this is one of the test case example. What you have to do, you have to write the annotation, and the name of the annotation is @test. Okay, and you can see the jar is already present here. Earlier it was not present, so if you have added, so JUnit 4, it is present over here. If you want to see the official website for the JUnit, you can simply type over here junit.org, junit.org, and this is the official website of the JUnit. If you want to download the jar files, you can download it from over here. This is the different versions, 4.12, 4.11, something like that one. But be sure which versions will be suitable for your programming. Sometimes if you download the 4.9, it will work. But if you download the 4.12 and if you have added the jar files, there may be chance that it is not going to work. See which jar it has taken, because we have not explicitly provided the jar files. It has taken the jar files from where? From the Eclipse itself. Eclipse plugin. If you open the Eclipse, there is a plugin folder. Let me show you. If you are going to open the Eclipse, here you will get, this is the Eclipse folder. Okay, inside this Eclipse we have the one folder that is known as plugins. Inside that plugins, the by default the Java peoples will provide you some of the jar files which is required for the JUnit. You can see here that org.junit. These are the some jar files, 4 jar files. That is the reason why the Eclipse has taken the jar file itself. You can see it has taken the testng plugins that from that plugins it has taken these jar files and taken the version 4.8. But if you want to give it manually, what you have to do, you have to right click on any of the particular versions. That jar file is going to be downloaded. After downloading that jar files, what you have to do, you have to, somewhere in my case I have downloaded, let me check where it is. Yes, in the testing software I have the so many jar files which is required for the testing purpose. So we will search where it is, JUnit. Okay, yes. So see what I have done, I have downloaded the JUnit jar files, some of the versions that yesterday I was trying with the JUnit 1.14 and it doesn't work successfully. So still I have to move to the previous version also. So I have downloaded 4.10 also. Again, there was some issue. So I have downloaded the 4.9 and extracted, and then you can give over here. So how you can give that jar files into your project? So if you don't want to give from the Java plugins, what you have to do, you have to give it manually. Right click on the project name, go to this option, build path, get this option, configure build path, and from this build path you need to go to this library tab and click on the add external jars. If you click on the add external jars, this pop-up window will open and you need to go to the location where the JUnit jar files is present. So here, suppose this is the jar files, you need to click open, click on the open and click on the OK. Once you click on the open, it will be added over here. Click on the open. Now the manually you have provided the jar files. So my suggestion that if you are going to work with a JUnit, no need to download the JUnit jar files explicitly and then provide to this package. Why? Because sometimes the whatever the jar files you have downloaded, that particular versions will not be suitable for your Eclipse version or your Java. So always try to get it from the Eclipse only. Okay. Getting the point, or simply I am speaking? Jyoti, clear na? So both of you are clear with this one, right? So this is one of the test cases. In the JUnit, as we have to move into the JUnit, you can see these are the different features. You can read it. JUnit allow you to write the code faster, which increases quality. So this PDF will be already present into that folder. You can download it and read it. Okay. What we have to do? So we have to see the some of the terms, like what is the unit test case? Unit test case is nothing but it is the simply one particular module, or we can call it a small piece of the code which is made as a unit. Okay, suppose in my project there are 100 test cases, so I will take one test case that will be my unit test case. Okay, and here regarding the JUnit environment setup, I have given the steps. Okay, but all these steps is not required if you are going to make use of the Eclipse IDE. Why? Because Eclipse IDE is having its own JUnit library within itself. From the plugins, you can see the plugins it has taken, so you don't have to download and give it to this JUnit. So here we have the terms like the JUnit. In the case of JUnit, we have the terms like test suite. The first one, it is, I think it is written as the test suite, but in testing purpose, we are not going to pronounce this as the suite. Okay, the exact pronunciation for this one as the suite. So we can call this as the test suite. So what is the test suites? What is the meaning of test suite? Any idea, any guesses? Test
Set
suite.
of your test cases basically to run.
Yes, test suites is something that is a group of the tests. Okay, so here you have to learn what actually the test suites, how we can make the test suites. Okay, these are the different steps. Don't focus on this one, it will let you confused because it is the bookish language. Before going to go make the test suite, what you have to do, you have to know that in the case of the J unit we have some of the annotations. Okay, so at your screen you will be able to find there are some of the annotations, and out of which you have used the first annotations only at the rate test, right? Remaining after class, before class, after, before, ignore, that is the operations you need to perform now, that we will see example now only. Okay, and then at the last you can be able to see the two more annotation, that is the at the rate, run with, and second one sweet. Okay, so we will see what these annotations are and how we can use these annotations. Okay, so just the program is over here, you can just check it out. Nothing is to worry, only you have to give the annotation name itself. Okay, let me minimize this one. Yes, see here, this is the one of the class name is the after demo, means in this class I have given the demo for this after, how it is going to work. So just now you have seen, we have seen one test case. Okay, in your program you can write the n number of the tests. Only what you have to do, you have to give the identical names, and here you need to mention on the top of that method's test case, you need to provide the annotation at the rate test. Okay, you can give n number of the annotations. So you can see, just 1 minute, let me modify this one as also as a test. So now you can see in this code snippet, I have the three test cases, because you can see I have the three test. So this is the three test. Let me run this one. First, before going to run, we will discuss on this one. The very first test, it is telling at the, what it is telling? It is telling wake up. Wake up is the name of the test case, and it is printing that wake up early in the morning. So you can give any name to this test case and whatever the message you want to print. But if it is the suitable message for that test method name, it will be more easy to get. So wake up, and it is printing the message wake up early in the morning. Second one, get ready, and it is printing the message get ready for work. Third one, get dressed, it is printing the message get dressed for the office. And these are the three test cases present into my class, that is known as after demo. You can give any name for this demo purpose only I am saying. Now you need to run this one. Click on the run as, and we are working on the test ng. We are working on the JUnit, so you need to click on the JUnit test. What we got? We got the simple developer output at the console. Get dressed for the office, wake up early in the morning, and get ready for the work. Okay. Here you can see the sequence. Sequence is not in order whatever it is written over here. You can see whether there is a sequence. No. Automatically what it will do, it will take the help of the method names. You can see, and based on that method names, it will try to sort it. Okay, so first if you are going to get for the alphabetical or the dictionary sorting, you can see get is the two times. So now it has to decide get ready or get dressed first. Which one will come first?
Get rest for
get dressed, then get ready, then wake up. So you just run it as a test engine. Sorry. What you are getting now? So at the developer preview, there may be no guarantee that whatever you have written, will get the correct console output. Here you can see get ready for work, get dressed for office, and wake up early. Now the sequence is changed. Whatever the output input you have given, it has changed. Sometimes it will take the help of that method names. With the help of method names, it will going to print the output, or it can print randomly. Max of the times it will going to print you the random message. Okay, but we are not focusing on this console window. What we have to do, we have to go to the JUnit output. Okay, so see here, JUnit is not present over here, it is not present over here. Now I need to check. See here, JUnit is at this corner, so double click on this one. Yes, you can see this is the JUnit window. From this one, it is having the three methods: get ready, get dressed, and wake up. See here, the sequence is not matching. Okay, so no need to worry for that one, because what we have to do, we have to check whether it is executing correctly or not. That is the mandatory thing. In the JUnit, that there is no guarantee for that one, the sequence. And this is the output. Get ready, all are executed fine. Here it is a green signal, no failure message. Okay. Now what I will do, I will tell my JUnit test case that this yes, get dress will always execute after the test cases. Means suppose here we have the three cases. I want that get dress should be executed after these two cases. Okay, it should not execute before these two test cases. What you will do, you will simply change this test by the keyword after. You can see we have the two types of the after and after class. I want only after. Save this, run this one. JUnit test. Now at your console, you can be able to see the output. What output you are getting? Get ready for work, get dressed for office. Again, wake up early in the morning and get dressed for office. It is saying, or it is going to give you the output in such a way that after each and every simple test, that after is executing, right? After this wake up also, this after is executing, and after this work, the after is executing. This after is executing after each and every test cases. Is it fine? It is executing or not? So if you are not able to means speak, you can at least message me. Okay. Anyhow, it is a night, so there may be no chances to give the responses always. Okay. So you can see if you write at the rate after, it will simply execute this test case wherever you have written. So I have written the get dressed and with the after annotation. So you can see get dress is executing after each and every case. Suppose here is only two case, so it is executing only after the two case. If you write the 20,000 or the unlimited number of the test cases, this after is going to execute after each and every. Okay, clear? So after is this one. Okay, same thing. Instead of modifying what I have done over here, instead of writing in a single, I have written into the separate one, so it will be easy to understand. Okay, you can see here also the same test cases is there, but two test case normal and second one is at the rate before. So it will be simply act at the just opposite to the after. means before executing any test case, this before will execute. Let me run this one so you can see the output. See here, get dress for office, it is executing before this working. Get dress for office, it is executing before the work. Okay, means if you write @ before annotation, it will always execute before any test cases. If there are 100 test cases, it will execute before that one. So this is after and before. After means after every test cases, before means before every test cases it will execute. But I want that after test case, wherever I have written the after test case, it will execute only single times. Okay, it will execute only single times, not after every test case. So for that purpose, we have the concept of the annotation that is known as after class. You can see this is the after class. So simply double click on this class name, whatever I have written. See here, the method names are same. Wake up, get ready, get dressed. Okay, these two test cases are the normal test, and the third one, it is after class. What I will do, because anyhow it is the sequence, so it will be executing at the last only. First you just run this one, run a JUnit test. You can see the output. You can see the output that get dress for office, it is executing at the last. It means that in the class, this is the class after the class demo, this is the class. In this class, if there are 0 or unlimited or n number of the test cases, first it will execute all the test cases, and then after class will execute. After class will execute after all the test cases. Okay, and one more thing you need to focus that this after class, if you write the class name over here, you can see it has written with a not public void get dress. It has now made as the public static void. Why it is the static?
Should not change.
That is fine, should not change. But why static? Did you remember public static void main? Why we write public? Because it can be called from anywhere. Static means static can be run before creation of the object. Okay, means anything the class and object concept is there. So if you don't write a static, you just simply remove the static, save this code. Now there is no static over here. Okay, run this one. What you are getting now, see the JUnit output. You can see it is now the red color. Okay, means it is having some error over here, and you can see it is test case, it is failed. Why it is failed? The reason is present over here, the failure trace. You can see the method get dressed should be static. Why it should be static? Because you are executing this after the class. There is no relation between this test case and the remaining test case. Okay, and whatever the things, whether you are executing before class or after class. After class means closing of the class. Before class means before opening the class. So before opening the class or after closing the class, if you are performing any operation, that should be static. Without static, it will not execute. Static means simply that it can be executed without any help of the object. So that's what you need to mention over here, the static keyword. Now if you save and run this code, JUnit, now console window, it is executing fine. Go to this JUnit. Now you can say once you made this as the static, it is executing successfully. There is no error. Getting the point? So anything which is related to class, whether it is after class or whether it is the before class, both should be made static. So this is the after class. Just focus on the before class. This is your before class. You can see the before class demo here also. 3 test cases. Okay. But before is static. Before is with static. Before class is with the static. Simple before. If you write only at the rate before, there is no need to make that as the static. Okay. But if it is before class or after class, you need to make them as the static. Now run this code snippet. See, you are getting the output, and go to this JUnit window. You can see you will always get the output like this one. Okay. So this is the things. If you are going to deal with the before class, before and after class, before class and after class should be static, then only it will be able to execute. The reason is that it will go and execute before the opening or the closing of the class. And if there is no relationship between the class, means it is executing before or after the closing, then it should be static. Then you are left with this ignore annotation. What is the meaning of this one? Ignore, as the name suggests, what is the name? The work is also same. Ignore means you are ignoring the test case. Okay. See at your screen, there are 3 test cases. First one, test, second, after, third one, it is written with the @ignore. There may be question that you will simply remove that code. Okay. You can make the comment, but that is not the testing way. Testing way, if you don't want that one, simply ignore that one. How you can ignore? So simply, instead of writing this test after before class, you simply write the annotation @ignore. Now your computer will understand that this test case it has to ignore. If you run this one, you can see you are getting only 2 output. The first 2, this one is ignored. Go to the JUnit window. You can see. So it has ignored. Okay. And if it is ignored, there is no error. And after, where is the after? Get ready. See, whatever you are seeing over here, and you can see over here, why we don't use most of the time JUnit. We have another tool that is known as the testng, that you can see over here. Whenever you are running this code, you will get 2 options: run as the JUnit or the testng. In both the cases, work is same, only certain differences is there. What is the difference? That is, sometimes here you will get uh, things like that. Some of the test cases is not going to show you the correct output. It will show you the correct, but there may be chances that it will show you the partial output. Okay. So that is the demerit. That is the demerit for the JUnit. And it is also not going to give you the complete output also. Means in the sequence wise. And it will give you the output normally like this one only. The statements. It is only going to give you the statements outputs. That this one is the pass, so it has written over here, fail, it is written over. But even these test cases can be made more clear by making use of the next tool, that is the testng, that we will see later. Okay. ignore one. Here I need to show how we can create the test suite. Okay, creating the test suite, as you can see at this PPT, creating the test suite, you need only these two annotations. Okay, and these two annotations can be used to create the test suites, and the syntax and the structure is fixed. Okay, always you need to write run with. Okay, and below that one you need to write the @suite classes. This is the syntax. How and what is the use of that test suite? Test suites means that suppose here I have written these 4 or 5, whatever the number of the test cases. So it is the less number of times we can execute it separate, right? But there are thousands of the test cases. At that time, I will not go and execute all the test cases separately. So we should have some features of the functionality. By making use of that, if we run a single one, all the test cases should get executed. So that's the purpose. We have to create the test suites. In the test suites, what you have to do, you have to write only the name of the classes. Suppose here we have the 4 or the 5 classes. You write the name of the classes inside that one. Okay, it will execute that. If you click on this one, it will execute the name of the classes which is present over here. What could be the syntax? How we can create the test suites? Simply here also you need to create the class. You can see this is the syntax of the creating the class, public class, and the class name I have given at the suite demo. Okay, in this class I am not going to write anything. This class will be my blank class. Okay, because we will try to execute the test cases from the some other packages. Okay, we are not going to write. If you write over here, it will execute from here. This test suite has been designed to run the test suites, which is test classes or the cases which is present at different location. Okay, so you can see this is the syntax that I told you, that this is the standard syntax for creating the test suites. After this one, you need to open and close the small braces. Inside that one, you need to create the curly braces opening and closing, and within these curly braces opening and closing, you need to specify the name of the classes which you want to execute. Okay, so here you can see after demo. So after demo, where it is present? It is present over here. After demo, I need to execute this one from here. I need to execute after class from here. Then before demo, before is also here. It is present at different location. So I will write simply the name of the class, and I need to tell that it is the class name. Okay, so if you write after demo, then dot class you need to specify. Suppose this is the class. Before demo dot class it is present, I need to specify one more class over here. You can see ignore. What is the name of the ignore? Yes, ignore demo. And all the name of the classes should be separated by comma. If you forget the comma, it will give you the error. Okay, I will ignore. I will make use of that ignore also. Ignore. Yes, ignore demo. This is the name. Yes, same. And you can see it will automatically detect where that is present. That is present in the com.selenium.ignore. That is correct. You can see over here com.selenium.ignore. So click on this one. You can see the import, it will always take. Import means it will go to that location to take the help. So ignore, it is present at there. So it has taken the help of that one. And you need to mention ignore demo dot class, because it is a class. Simply press dot, it will give you the message class. Yes, click on this one. Now you can see there is no error over here. So just save this code. No need to write any test cases over here. Simply save this one and run your code. You can see you are getting the output from all the classes which you have mentioned. Some of the outputs are repeated. Suppose you can think this is the repeated. Why it is coming repeated? Because these are the outputs which is coming from the first class, no matter the same input or the output you have mentioned into this class also. So whatever it is present into this class, it will print. Whatever it is present into the second class, it will print. Like that one, it is going to print for each and every class. So this is known as test suite. Means we are running this one only, and whatever the class name it is present over here, that is going to be run automatically. And in the test suite, you can give n number of the names. There is no limitation also. Okay, if you have the one class also you can give, if you have the one lakh also you can give, but all the class names should be separated by the comma. Getting my point? So these are the annotations that is available into the Java. Now what I have done, I have combined all these annotation together into a single class only. You can just have a look on the this one. See here, before class, ignore, test. We are having the three tests. We are having the three normal tests. That is the get dressed for office, carry laptop, and return to home. These are the three normal tests. No, four normal tests. And we have some more tests like get ready for work. So in morning, nobody is going to get ready for the work. Everyone feels sleepy. So you have to ignore this one. So you write at the rate ignore. And before running or doing any kind of the work, you have to do that first work, that wake up in the early in the morning. So it will execute always before the remaining test cases. Okay. Now if you are running this one, you will get the output. Just check it out. There is a guarantee that ignore will not come into output and before class will always come, and there is no guarantee regarding this at the rate tests. Why? Because that is the normal form of the test. In JUnit there is no guarantee. You can see wake up early in the morning. Where that is? This one before class. It is coming fine. Wake up early in the morning. We'll have the dinner together. That is the last one, but it is showing result over here. And you can see for the ignore, get ready for the work. Is there any option? No, that is ignored. Go for the JUnit output. Same, because everything is executing fine. So there is, and here you can see get ignore is not present. And see, sometimes if you are going to work with the early versions of the JUnit, like earlier, whenever we were working on the JUnit, some old versions. So if you ignore that one, here that will also come, that ignore test case will also come, but it will be into the yellow color. Here the pass will be into the green color, fail will be into the red color, and ignore will be into the orange color with the
0.00 here. Why is it showing the time?
sorry,
Why is it 0.000
that is
s?
because it has
Time?
taken that much of the time only to executing running that one.
But all the three cases are same, right?
Yes, because
So,
for running all the at the rate test, it has not taken so much of the time. It may be into the fraction of the second, so it is not pointing over here. It is pointing only up to the 3 digits after the decimal.
okay.
So these are the different annotations that is present into the JUnit. Okay, and my suggestion that you try all the annotations separately, like this one. After you try, after class, before everything, then you should combine all the into a one and just try to run that one. Okay, don't simply write within a single class and try it. You should try with the some different forms also. So any confusion in this all the test annotations, because the annotations name whatever it is telling, the work is also same. Is it fine? Yes. And here you can see, if you are going to see the outputs, it will be like this one only. There is no extra kind of the report. Okay, that extra kind of the report, it will come when we will see the topic, the test ng, because test ng and JUnit both are same. Okay, both are work wise, both are same. What is the difference? The difference is that in the case of test ng, we have some extra annotations also. Okay, some of the annotations which you have used over here, that will be same present over there only, and some will be extra annotations will be present. Along with that, here in the case of JUnit, we can get the output report into this form only. There is no extra form. Okay, but in case of testng, we have the 3 and 4 forms of the output. Okay, that is by look and feel also, it is more clear than this JUnit. Okay, so first you try to execute all these. Okay, then